Last class we talked about Law 4 and Law 5 of law and exponents. Law 4 tells me when I have exponents, if I can write, x squared times x cubed, and there's multiplication between your bases, multiplication is right there. What do you do to the exponents? You add them. So I have x to the 5th. Law 5 told me if I had x squared divided by x cubed, when there's division between my variables, between my bases, here and here there's division, what do I do with my exponents? I subtract them. But how do I know where x ends up? The bigger x tells me where it is. So since the bigger x is on the bottom, x goes on the bottom. And then I subtract my exponents. 3 minus 2 is 1. Do I really need to put a 1 here? No. Erase it. So notice now nobody's left on the top. So since nobody's left on the top, I'm going to put a 1 there, and I'm done. If we quickly review all of our other laws, if I have x to the 0 power, that just equals 1. What if I have x to the negative 2nd power? What does that do? Well, it turns this problem into a fraction. I'm going to circle this, bring it down. So x squared goes on the bottom. Who's left on the top? Nobody? I got to put a 1 there. And this is my answer. I know I'm finished because x is only shown once and because I have no negative exponents in this problem. Ladies and gentlemen, you might want to really choose very wisely about paying attention today because you will be having a test on all of this next class. So just kind of keep that in mind as you are progressing through today's lesson and however you're choosing to focus. It's totally up to you. You will be taking a test on this next class. I will be available before school if you need me, but just kind of keep that in mind as we're going through this. So as I'm going through your homework, I'm going to pick and choose. If I look at number one, parentheses, what operations between all of these pieces in your problem? Multiplication. So notice I have to identify 3 and negative 6. Notice 3 and negative 6, those are classified as coefficients. What do you do with coefficients? You multiply them together. I get negative 18. So now I have m to the 4th and m to the 3rd. So what do I do to the exponents? I add them. So m to the 7th. And then I have n to the 5th and n to the negative 3rd. So 5 and negative 3 make 2. I know I'm done because m is seen once, n is seen once, and there are no negative exponents. Let's jump over to number 3. First thing I notice is that I can't clean up my top. My top's as cleaned up as possible. But look at my bottom. My bottom, there's something I can clean up. What can I clean up in my bottom? Well, I see that I have a negative exponent, so I got to take a and I got to move it to the top. So I have 10a to the 5th, b cubed c, and then I got to move a squared up, all over 12b to the 4th, c to the 4th. So all right, let's take a look at this. I have 10 and 12. Those are classified as coefficients. What do I do with coefficients? I simplify them. So in my calculator, I'm going to type 10 divided by 12, hit enter. I get a decimal, make it a fraction. Math, enter, enter. I get 5 over 6. So 5 over 6. So now I see a. Do I see another a anywhere in here? Yep. Notice these a's. Are they on the same side or are they on opposite sides? Well, they're on the same side. So since they're on the same side, I add the exponents. So I have a to the 7th. If you want to cross them out because you used them, you can. Now let's look at my b's. My b's, are they on the same side or are they on the opposite sides? They're on opposite sides. So where's the bigger b, top or bottom? It's on the bottom, so b goes on the bottom. And what's b's exponent? 4 minus 3 is 1. I don't need that 1, so I just leave it b. Cross it out if I want. I'm now left with c and c to the 4th. C's exponent on the numerator is 1. Where's the bigger c? On the bottom. 4 minus 1 is 3. Why I'm subtracting my exponents? Because they're on opposite sides. When they're on opposite sides, you subtract. When they're on the same side, you add. I know I'm done because none of my exponents are negative, and I see a, b, and c once. Let's jump to number 5. Number 5, you always divide last. So if you can clean up the top or clean up the bottom, you always do that first. So I notice the top, and I can clean the top up. So 3 and 6, they're classified as coefficients. So I'm going to make 18. And then I have x to the 4th. And then I have y squared ab, can't clean any of those up, all over 6x squared a cubed b to the 4th. Alright, so now I'm left with 18 over 6. Do I subtract those or do I simplify them? I simplify them because they're coefficients. So in my calculator, I'm using my calculator because it's helpful. Why else would I give you a calculator if you don't want to double, triple check your work? Always be careful. 18 divided by 6, well that's 3. So 3 goes on the top. Look at your x's. Bigger x is on the top. The exponent is 2. Look at my y. You can cross them out because you used them. Look at my y's. I don't have any more y's, so y just stays on the top. Now look at your a's. Where's the bigger one? On the bottom. Exponent is 2. Now look at your b's. Bigger one is on the bottom. Exponent is 3. How I got 3? 4 minus 1, because this b has an exponent of 1. I'm done because all variables have positive exponents, and I can only see them once. I'm going to do 2 more. I'm going to do 10, and then I'm going to do 12. Let's do 10 first. What's the best thing I notice about number 10? Best thing I notice is that I have a 0 exponent, and this whole thing is being raised to the 0 exponent, which means that whole thing equals 1, so it's gone. So I'm left with 30x to the negative 6, y to the 4th, z squared, all over 5x squared, y to the negative 2, z to the 4th. So before I start dividing, I'm going to move all my negative exponents. So x comes down and y goes up. So 30 y to the 4th, z squared, y squared, all over 5 x squared, z to the 4th, x to the 6th. Alright, so 30 over 5 makes 6. Let's look at my y's. I have a y here and a y here. Are my y's on the same side or are they on opposite sides? They're on the same side. So what do I do with my y's? I add them. I have y to the 6th. Cross them out because I used them. Look at my z's. Z on the top, z on the bottom. They're on opposite sides, so where's the bigger one? The bottom. The exponent is 2. Cross it out because I used them. The only other thing in this problem I haven't used yet is x. I have an x down here and an x down here. X's are both on the bottom, so what do I do to the exponents? I add them, and I'm done. Hopefully everybody is with me and following along very nicely. Last one. What do I got to do first? I got to clean up this top piece first. What operations between everything? Multiplication. So what do I do with my big numbers? I multiply, I get 24. What do I do with my little numbers, my exponents? I add them up. So I have a to the 6th, c to the negative 6th, and d squared. And this is all over 20a to the 7th, b to the negative 6, c to the 0 just equals 1, it goes away. So before I start dividing, I want to move all my negative exponents. Negative 6 goes to the bottom and b goes to the top. So I have 24a to the 6th, d squared, b squared, all over 20a to the 7th, c to the 6th. So, clean it up. What do I do with coefficients, my 24 and 20? I simplify them. 24 divided by 20. Hit math, enter, enter. I get 6 over 5. Look at your a's. Bigger one on the bottom. What's the exponent? 1. Do I really need that 1? Nope. Look at my d's. Can't clean them up anymore. Look at my b. Can't clean it up anymore. Look at my c. Can't clean it up anymore. And I'm done. Hopefully everybody's doing okay with this. Make sure if there are any questions I did not address that you ask your elbow partner right now, the person sitting right next to you, to make sure that you are good to go because I'm about to move on.